I can sleep. So I'll just be making peak content right now for all of you. Alright? 5 tips that may help you improve on Pokemon Auto Chess. Hopefully, this video will be short and efficient and give everyone that will watch it an edge on the next game or on the next few games if you keep going. Realize with literally in a montage, I could literally be doing a presentation in high school right now, and that does make me old actually. Number 1, use your keyboard, E to sell, D to roll, and never ever press F to buy XP. So for those of you who did not know, you can actually use your keyboard to do some of the actions in the game. You are not forced to use your mouse. With E, you can sell a unit. So you do not have to click on the unit, drag it all the way up on the top of your screen and throw it in the bin. You can just put your mouse on it and press E. It's way faster. You do not take the risk to misclick, and it will help you do more actions during your turn, so you will be able to do more rolls and to hit more units. Same with D to roll. Just press D. It's way faster than just dragging your mouse to roll, then dragging your mouse to the unit you want to buy. You can keep your mouse close to the units and just press D. It's just more efficient. You can press F to buy XP. Why I think you should not get used to doing that is because actually the key D and F are quite close to each other, and getting used to use both of them will in the end make you do mistakes sometimes. The number of times I press F when I want to press D is actually quite insane, and it can literally ruin your games. You can throw off your economy, and that just feels awful. So just don't get used to using F. Use E, use D. That's way enough, and you can always buy XP with your mouse, because when you buy XP, it's not about your micromanagement or anything like when you are rolling. It's just you know how many XP you will buy, you put your mouse on it and you click a certain number of times. So not having a keystone to do it isn't really over detrimental to your gameplay. Number 2, this one is probably my favorite. Take your time between games. Do some pauses. Do not chain one game after another. This will get you tilted. You will not take a lot from your last games. You will not learn a lot about yourself, about your mistakes, about what you did great, about what you did wrong. Take some time to look at the other compos on the post-game screen. Think about what you did well, what you did wrong, why did you end up at the place you ended up, what the people who did beat you did better than you, what the people who did lose to you did worse than you. Take your time, analyze what you did, reset your mind, look at the items maybe. Did you get the best items you could have? Does this can explain your placement? And just take your time. I think like 10 minutes, 15 minutes between each game can just reset your mind and help you be at 100% every time you play. And this does actually matter once you reach high elo and you cannot allow yourself to do mistakes and to lose games. Every detail can count, and that's just a healthier way to play the game overall. And this can apply to any game actually. Having played League of Legends for a long time now, I can assure you that doing pauses between your games helps a lot to reset your mind, and I mean it. Number 3. This is kind of tied to the last one. You need to try to be tilt proof. Whatever happens, your mental state of your last game should not affect your current game. Alright? Just because you won or lost your last game should not affect your gameplay. Because why would it? Right? Games are independent to each other. The thing you should keep from your last games is what you learned. Just remember that you can't always win. There's luck in this game, of course. You will lose sometimes. Even if you're the best player, sometimes you will bottom. That must happen to the best of us. Do not get tilted by this very true fact. You can do anything about it. You will sometimes get unlucky, getting the worst items you can get. Randomly guess fossil over fossil over fossil over and over again, and you can do anything with them. And you will not perform really well with what the game gave you. This happens. So again, this is tied to my last tip. Just quit the game. If you need a longer pause than usual, just do it. Go breathe some fresh air, eat something, and come back when you calm down. Alright? Number 4. To best progress on any given game, you should just try to choose one thing and reproduce it to get better at it. And the reason why I think you should be a one-trick pony, choose one composition and spam it until you are so good at it that you start to get bored. It's because when you first start playing this game, it's overwhelming. This game and most games that are like auto chess are overwhelming to learn. So you should not deal with every single information that is available in this game. You should not try to know every single unit in the game right at the beginning. Just choose something, spam it, get good at it, get the feeling of playing the game with this basis, and once you start understanding this one composition that you choose, its power spikes, its units, what it's good against, what it's weak against, when do you transition, how do you roll with this composition. Once you start to get the feeling of how you play the game with this composition, then you will start to improve at the game itself. Because searching for your units will start to become muscle memory. What is muscle memory? Is the things you can do without thinking actively about it. Right? You playing fire, you see Litwick in your shop, you are not thinking, Litwick is fire, I should buy it. No, you see Litwick, you buy it without even thinking about it, you put it on the same place that you ever put it, on the, let's say, bottom right corner, and you didn't actively use your brain to process all of this. And because you get more space to think about other things than just getting your units, because you know them very well, you can now think about the other aspects of the game. You can now try actively thinking about optimizing your economy. You can now think about checking your opponent compositions. You can now think about why you should buy XP or roll right now. What's your best options? How do you want to win your next round? Etc, etc. Make your mind at ease. make thinking about your gameplay easier. What can be muscle memory should be muscle memory, at least while you are learning the basis of the game. If you start to get bored, however, if you start to not have fun playing the game anymore, then of course you should swap and change your composition. If you do not have fun and do not appreciate what you are doing, what's the point of even playing? So only if you get bored or are already super good with the comp should you try another composition. And even at the highest elo, I advise you not to just spread your gameplay and play every composition in the game. You should always have a good basis of 2 to 3 comp that you can adapt with the items the game gives you, and that you can know that in every situation you should have some backup solutions. Alright? But not being able to play flying comps is not detrimental to your gameplay and to your progression. I'm currently top 5 elo in this game. I do not play flying. I am absolutely unable to play this composition, and this isn't detrimental to me climbing. I mostly play fire, dark ghost, and sometimes ground or fossil, but only sometimes when my 2 main options are out of the game, right? And finally, value your economy. Value your economy. Having a strong economy in this game is probably right now the best strategy to have the most consistent results. I already explained it in some of my videos in French, but one key strategy that you can make in early game is to start getting your 10 golds at round 2. 10 golds mean that on the next round you will get 1 bonus gold. Alright? You can actually do this on the Raticate round. On the Raticate round you have 12 golds at your disposal, which means that if you only buy 2 1-cost Pokemon, you can have 10 golds in your bank and then get 1 more gold on the next round. So if you can beat Raticate with only 2 Pokemon, that's super valuable, because this 1 gold you got will snowball actually. The number of times that you will get 20 gold instead of 19, 30 golds instead of 29, you won't believe it once you try it. So the combinations of 2 Pokemon that can do that are 2 ground Pokemon, 2 rock Pokemons, 2 bug Pokemons, and 2 fighting Pokemons. If you can get these combinations, then you should just put 2 Pokemons on the bench, on the Raticate round, and sell everything else. And you will see your economy skyrocket. However, you should not get a mental block about spending your money. Alright? I know that some people, once they get the 50 gold mark, which is the maximum interest gold that you can get with 50 money, with 50 golds in your bank, you get plus 5 money every round. And some people, once they get these 50 golds, just never go below it, whatever may happen. Sometimes you can go down in economy to get a power spike, to search for a unit in a key timing, to buy a level on a key timing. Alright? The timings where you should have 50 goals are every 5 rounds when you are fighting the computer, the PvE rounds. Alright, on these PvE rounds you do not need to have a particular power spikes because you will beat it anyway. So on these rounds you should have 50 golds to get this free money. However, when it's like round 22, round 12, and you still get 3 rounds to build your economy before the PvE, then you can spend this gold to make your bird stronger and beat your opponents. Beating an opponent gives you plus 1 gold, right? You should value it, definitely. And if you already have a strong win streak, Having a strong win streak can give you plus 5 goals too, so spending your money in order to keep the win streak will actually give you more goals than getting econ and losing this win streak, because your comp right now isn't strong enough. Another player spent its goal and now it beats you. I hope this video was helpful. I do not think I already gave these tips in English, so right now my international audience, you got them. I hope I didn't take too long, and I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye guys and girls and everyone other than this. Bye bye.